Hey, what's good guys? Prash here with my first impressions of the S23 Plus, and right off the bat, you don't really get much in the box, and I am still salty about this. So along with your standard USB-C to C cable, a SIM ejector tray, as well as some boring paperwork, there's not much else in the box, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Now the phone itself feels really good in the hand. It feels even boxier than the previous generation, and honestly has a very minimalist design. And yeah, there's not really much going on from an aesthetic standpoint. It's pretty basic, but it does feel really good in the hand. Now in terms of the actual color, yikes. Now I don't know about the other colors in the 23 lineup, but yeah, this green color which I went with is honestly a huge letdown. Now technically it is green, but the light has to hit it just right for that to happen. Because while I've been playing with this phone for over a day now, it honestly just looks like a grayish phone. And in my honest opinion, I would have gone with the matte black version had I known that this color was, well, less green and more gray. I honestly expected a darker matte green color, or at least something that more closely resembles what they show on the box. So it is kind of weird they went in a different direction. Now I will say that the boxier design is definitely inspired by Apple's phones, except for the camera module, because where Apple took a bulky camera module approach, Samsung decided to go as flush as possible, and it honestly kind of looks pretty decent. Now I do like that the camera module is much smaller than on the previous gen, but at the same time it sort of takes away from the aesthetic introduced in the S21 lineup in favor of a more generic look. And I can honestly see why people would get behind that, and so it is an interesting design choice for Samsung, but I will mention that you can actually lay this phone on its back, and it honestly doesn't wobble as much as the previous generations did. Now flipping it over, I really do love the 6.6-inch OLED panel. Samsung really does make the best screens in the business, and it really does show. I mean, it's bright and it's really vibrant, and the colors are punchy, and the blacks are also really nice. Now one thing I noticed on the S23 Plus is the incredibly quick fingerprint scanner. I mean, it just takes a second and it just unlocks. It is really quick. I can safely say that it's one of the fastest fingerprint scanners that I've used on a phone. Now, dare I say, it can actually rival Apple's Touch ID, which is crazy as this fingerprint scanner is under the screen of the device itself. So yeah, Samsung did a really good job there. Now that the 23 Plus is unlocked, I think the first thing you'll notice is just how snappy this device is. The Snapdragon 8 Gen really picks up the pace, and combined with the 120Hz adaptive screen refresh rate, it honestly results in a very fast feeling device. I mean, everything feels super fluid. It's really snappy. However, I will say this, it is still early days for this device, and I am interested to see if the performance is maintained throughout my usage. Alright guys, so that's been it for my first impressions of the S23 Plus in this somewhat green color. Yeah, looks like we're out of time. Stay tuned for my in-depth review of the S23 Plus, and yeah, till we meet again. Catch you in the next one.